All right, let's get on into it. Joel chapter 3. Let me see here. All right. See that the nations will be judged. Okay. For behold, in those days and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity, Shabbat Shalom, Ali, I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land. Luke 21:24. The Messiah said Jerusalem was going to be trampled down by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled, to the end. You got a church over there founded by Constantine. You got a Muslim mosque over there. And you got some European Ashkenazis. Okay? In other words, this part ain't happening. All right? All right. All right. And part of this land, that goes right, let me show it to you. It goes right into Luke. That go right into Luke 20. They done part of this land. How else is you going to get it? Huh? Shabbat Shalom, Brenda Hill. All right, now. Luke 21:24. People better start studying this Bible and quit taking pastor's word for it. Don't take my word. That's why I put it up here. I might get it wrong. That's why I put it up here. Look at it. Sometimes I go back. I very and catch myself that I misspoke. I meant one thing and said another. But if you keep listening to what I'm saying, you'll know what I'm talking about, like other people doing their videos. All right. All right. Y'all see who said it? All right. This is the scattering right here. And they shall fall. Who is it they? The Israelites shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Okay, you displace a people, then you colonize their lands. Okay, that's how that happened. Right up back up here. Nations will be judged. Let's see here. Going back too far. I don't know what happened here. Maybe I rubbed across the. I got some heavy hand. Let's see, Joel. Not Hosea, it's Joel. Appreciate that. All right, for whole nations will be judged. All right. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Now, this is the Old Testament telling you about a scattering. Okay. Now let's go back to Luke. This hadn't happened yet. The Messiah is talking about the scattering. Well, he's talking about the regathering. See. They hadn't been scattered yet. All right, name another group of people that have been scattered worldwide. Just because you don't see us on camera, don't mean we ain't there. All right, now. Shall fall by the edge, be led captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by Gentiles until that time is up. All right. And there shall be signs in the sun, and the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nation with perplexity. They don't know what's going on. Why? Because they're not studying the Bible, and they don't believe what's in it. That's why you're confused. Or you could believe, but you hanging around a bunch of people that's not believers. That's why I said do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, because you're going to get confused too. Shalom, Jim. All right, now, men's hearts fell in them for fear, and looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right, now I'm just showing you Joel chapter 3. Now, okay, now it's talking about he gonna bring. Now this hadn't happened yet. The Most High gonna regather us. Okay. And I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Let's see what that is. Yahuwah has judged. Okay, judge. Okay, judge. Okay, I like that. I just don't want to be on the receiving end of a judge, so I'm gonna keep his laws. See, when you don't keep the laws of the land, you get into trouble and you go and you get judged. So how is it we think that we don't have to keep the Most High's laws and we ain't gonna get judged? Huh? They tell you don't worry about the law, but they'll bring the law of tithe before your eyes. But okay, let's go. Let me see. For my heritage, Israel. I don't see no spiritual in front of Israel. And when you get into the book of Revelations, the 12 gates are named after the 12 tribes of Israel in the book of Revelations. Yeah, just Google it. Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Luke told you, let me go back here. The Messiah told you that his land was going to be parted. He said Jerusalem going to be trampled down. See, trodden down, the pardon of the land. See, the land is parted by colonizers. There it is right there. Now let me go back. All right. They have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. If you go do a little digging, yeah, they were selling our people for rum, liquor, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. Let's see. I'm going to get to 6. Let me keep going. Let me just slow roll. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, I will return your recompense upon your own head. Okay, I'm just looking that up. I didn't even intend to go do this after I hit the start button. I didn't have, but anyway. All right, now, because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. Now, Nebuchadnezzar's son, Belshazzar, saw the handwriting on the wall when they was drinking and worshiping other gods out of the Most High's goodly, pleasant thing. And King Darius came that night and killed him. So it doesn't happen again. Some colonizers, some thieves, some murderers that took the Most High's goodly, pleasant things. And the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. You go back into Luke chapter 21, where the Most High, where the Messiah is laying it down, captive worldwide, far from the borders. Okay. Now, the society we live in today, they boast and brag on it being a Greco-Roman empire. Not Roman Greco. Greco-Roman. So you said, how were you sold to the Grecians? I'm showing it to you. Matter of fact, let me go to Genesis 10 and do a little bit more. Go to Genesis 10. And then I'm going to show you where the Greeks got their so-called mathematics from. Let me go and tell you. They got it from the Africans. Their own historians tell you where they got their knowledge from. That's why they got to whiten up. That's why they got to whiten up everything. See. But anyway, I'm just going to go on and tell you so you can go on and turn the video off or whatever. Take that truth with you, though. All right, Genesis 10. All right. I went in the loop. Let me see. Okay, I got to hit the button. Let me hit that go button. All right, now. All right. Now, I noticed today that every one of Noah's sons have had somebody in their bloodline rule over the earth. Ham's son, Ham descended Nimrod. Had control of the Tower of Babel. He was a descendant of Ham. Okay. Descendants of Shem, Nebuchadnezzar. The head of gold. Okay. Then you had a descendant of Shem, and then a descendant of Japheth, the Medes and the Persians. That was the silver. And then you get down to the Japheth, Greeks and the Romans. See that? I just realized that today. So every bloodline from Noah, every one of them had they chance to globally rule. Nimrod in the Tower of Babel, when the Most High confounded the language, he was the descendant of Ham running the show. Then you had Nebuchadnezzar, the descendant of Shem. I didn't say he was a Hebrew. All right. Then you had was it Darius, descendant of Shem, and then you had the Persians. The Medes are descendant of Japheth. Then it started going into Japheth. Okay, you had the Medes and the Persians. Then you start getting to the Greeks and the Romans. Japheth. And then Esau mixed in with the Romans. Okay, if you do some digging in the history, Esau that mixed in with the Romans. All right, but now let's get to these. Let's get to Japheth. The sons of Japheth: Magog, Madai, Javan. Let me do this in the Let me do it right here, because I'm gonna look that word Javan up. Genesis 10. Okay. See that? Y'all see the Greeks right there? Y'all see that? All right. I just want to show y'all that. All right, now that's Javan. All right, now let me keep going. And Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenazi Jew, Ashkenaz, as in Jerusalem, in the east. Okay? They didn't change much. Hallelujah for that. Made it easy for us to find them. All right, and the sons of Javan, these are the descendants of Javan, that became later known as the Greeks. And here go the Romans right here. All right, Tarshish, Elisha, Kittim. You got to do a little bit more digging to find them Romans, but yeah, they eventually come from the Romans. Okay. Kittim. There it is right there. All right. Now let me see here. All right, I just did a search. Greco-Roman Empire refers to the powerful. Notice when they start dealing with white people, they use them good descriptive words. And I ain't gonna lie. World conquest, you got to be powerful. But what I'm saying is, they had the black accomplishment. They erased and replaced and disgraced the black accomplishment, all right? Powerful and cultural fusion and political integration where the Roman Empire conquered Greece, adopting and spreading Greek language, philosophy, and art, its vast territories, especially in the East, creating the foundation for the near Byzantine Empire, a predominantly Greek-speaking Roman state. Now, let me skip to Vladimir Putin. I mean, Russia. Byzantine Empire. Okay? Focus on that Byzantine. Let me skip over here to her. Let me skip over here to her. Okay, I'm getting going. Okay. Now, when I was doing this, when I started focusing on this, I said, wait a minute, Russia got a two-headed eagle. I said, where they come from? You know, Russia got a two-headed eagle. They come out of Rome. The Byzantine, let me read it to you. There you go. The Russian double-headed eagle originated from the Byzantine Empire, especially the Paleogos dynasty, and was officially adopted by Ivan III in 1472, following his marriage to Sophia, I can't pronounce those names, the niece of a last Byzantine emperor. So you got somebody that's in the Byzantine Empire, a part of Rome, a part of Greek, okay, and then I said, I knew Russia had a two-headed eagle, but I never dug into it. Now, don't trust none of these folks. Don't trust none of them. Don't trust none of them. The Most High is coming back, warring against the nations. That means everybody. Okay? All right. Now let me get back. Let me get back over here for a minute. I'm going back and forth. Let me see here. All right. The Greco-Roman Empire was a cultural blend where Greek civilization served as the foundational, intellectual, artistic, and philosophical, and might I add, diabolical basis for the Roman society. While Rome was the military and political conqueror, it heavily adopted Greek literature, philosophy, religion, art, merging them into a single culture that defines Western civilization. So the Roman Empire is built on a Greek foundation. They descend from the Greeks. So when you get to Job chapter 3, you ain't got to too much guess how the children of Judah and Jerusalem were sold to the Greeks. You ain't got to do too much guessing. All right? You ain't got to do too much guessing. Job 3, 6, 3 and 6. You ain't got to do too much guessing. Now, you got Greek fraternities over here. Let me see, Greek influence word. You got Greek fraternities over here. I'm just showing you that the Greeks ain't wiped out. The culture's still there. Versus our history and the culture erased. You see what I'm saying? Language erased, but the Greek stuff still here. They take pride in it. Well, they the same people. Well, they kind of the same people, but yeah. Let me keep going. I don't need. Let me try. I'm gonna try. Ain't no need to make any video. People don't really. They really don't watch long videos. Okay. Or not mine anyway. Let me see here. Let me keep going. Now, did y'all know? Have y'all noticed? Have y'all noticed that the medical industry use Greek terms? Y'all aware of that? The lingo in the medical field. Y'all notice that when they give y'all a diagnosis, it's Greek. Did y'all notice that? Talk to me. Just a yes or no. Have y'all ever noticed that? Okay, Brenda Hill. All right. Okay. I learned it late. I ain't gonna lie. I learned it probably last year, 2 years ago. I learned it. I paid attention to it, and I noticed it was Greek. I Yep. When they write out them, yep. Okay. All right. Now, medical. So Greek is still there. They the same people basically. So it's still there. So don't count out Job. People look at that Job chapter 3 and try to figure out. Well, ain't nothing wrong with trying to figure out. When I first read that, it's sold to the Greeks. I couldn't quite, but then years later, boom. All right. Medical diagnosis are heavily based in Greek and Latin because ancient Greek, see that? Greco, Roman. Greek and Latin. Greek and Roman. Latin is the language of the Romans because ancient Greek physicians like Hippocrates established the foundation of Western medicine through systematic observation, moving away from mystical explanation. Let me see here. The Egyptians had medicine, but I'll get into that. Let me see. The Egyptians had medicine way before they did. Okay. Way before they did. Hold on. My stuff ain't in order because I didn't know which way I was going to go. And when as soon as it hit that button, it's like, I'm going to give all praise to the Most High. That's what I'm going to do. I can close this out. The Romans, the Russians and the Romans with the two heads. Roman eagle, two heads. I can close that out. Now, the Russians also, they Christians. Okay? They also Christians. Okay? Okay? And Muslims. But they was a branch from the Roman Empire. Now, let's see. Who influenced the Greeks? Because we know there's some Johnny come latelys. We know they are a new group of people. Okay? And you know, if you know history, Alexander went down there and took over Egypt. That's where you start getting them pale people. Okay, that's where you start getting them pale people from. BC. But they were still majority black when the Messiah was, Apostle Paul was around. And then the French come over there and did some more colonization and some more whitening in Egypt. That's why that's why that Negro nose. Ain't it something? All the statues mysteriously, something just happened to all the noses. Inquiring minds want to nose. All right, ancient Greek civilization was heavily influenced by earlier Mediterranean cultures, okay. Most notably Egypt and Mesopotamia. That's why they keep trying to whitewash Egypt. But the Bible tells, let's go back to this Bible, Genesis chapter 10. Let's get back to it. Let's go to the sons of Ham. And these sons of Ham, you know, the so-called curse of Ham was an excuse for white people to mistreat black folks. Yep, hey, I'm working on a video about that, Brenda Hill. They eating up the mummies. I got a video in the chamber right now about them eating up. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna call that one the skeleton crew. The skeleton crew. Them folks is the skeleton crew. All right, let me see. Ms. Ray, let me do it in the Bible. Let me do it in the Bible. Let's see, Genesis 10. Do it right here. Yeah, they done ate up all the darn Egyptian mummies. Done ate them up. Anyway, it really ain't funny. It's sad. All right. And the sons of Ham, let me show y'all. Mizraim is Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word. There you go right there. So the Bible telling you the Egyptians are black folk. Where all these old white supremacist preachers at with all these lies? Going to the Roman casket cemetery schools? Huh? There you go right there. Mizraim, Egyptian, descendant of Ham. And the sons of Ham, Cush. You know, that means black. Let's see what they said. Let me see what they got for Cush. Ethiopia. Black. Blackity black. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black, y'all. I didn't even see this comment here. Hey, hallelujah. Ooh. All right, let's see here. Boy, these folks, if you ain't gonna believe that Bible, you're gonna be judged by it. Just close the Bible up, go on back to sleep. And get your rest now. Because when judgment day comes, you ain't getting no more rest. Just go on back to sleep. Okay? They talk bad about you being awake. Go on back to sleep. Okay? All right. There you go right there. So that show you that the Egyptians are black right there. Okay? These scholars know this, y'all. All right. Now, who influenced the Greeks? Let me see, can I find my place back? Okay, right here. Now the Greeks got it from the blackity black folks. All right. Ancient Greek civilization was heavily influenced by earlier Mediterranean cultures, most notably Egypt and Mesopotamia, which shared early Greek art culture, early Greek art, architecture, and religion. They got their religion from, if it ain't from the Most High, it ain't nothing to brag about. But I'm just pulling back them layers of lies, pulling the scales off the eyes. Some of these church folk got cataracts, but we're gonna kick back with facts. All right, now the Miocene civilization, such as precursors, blended the Near Eastern. But let me get down. Egypt had a profound influence on early Greek art, sculpture, architecture, column styles, and philosophy. Let them tell it. It's all them. They come up on it. They come up on it on their own. Just like Columbus discovered America with people living in it. All right. Now, Phoenicians provided the foundation for the Greek alphabet. I knew that, which was adopted from the Phoenician script. Okay. How is these some ancient people and they learning from ancient people? Okay. And in turn, Greek culture was later adopted and spread by the Roman Empire, which observed many aspects of Greek art, philosophy, and lifestyle. Now, I'm just showing you. Now, if anything wrong in any video, whether it be now or back 4 years ago or sometime in the future, you find anything wrong, bring it to my attention, and we're gonna get it right. Over here, we don't do lies and misdirection and deflection. We kick light over here. We work and operate in truth. All right. Now, you asked the description of the they start lying. But let me see here. But yeah, historically, ancient Egyptians were not a single homogeneous group, but rather a diverse population, depending on how far back you go. What are their definition of ancient? Give me a time period, but I'm not going to go through all that. Because when Alexander come over there, they call that ancient, and that's when the mingling and the mixing started, okay? Yeah. Let me see here. Now, okay, right here. Now, Herodotus. Okay, this is a typo right here. Let me do another one to see what happened. Let's see. Herodotus, Greek learned from Africa. It's a quote from Herodotus, and he was a Greek philosopher. Now, how is Herodotus going to be called the father of history when they ain't the first people on the earth? How about Adam? How about Moses? Well, I'm just saying. How about the pharaohs? I'm just saying. The father of history documented interaction between Greeks and other cultures, including those in Africa, but specifically quotes about Greeks learning from Africans are not directly attributed to him. That's right, they white and they say so. Their own historian is telling, it wrote down and documented that they learned from black folk. I just showed you layer on top of layer on top of layer. That somebody's lying. All right, now. But specific quotes about Greeks learning from not directly attributed to him. His works emphasize the importance of preserving the achievement of both Greeks and non-Greeks. That ain't what I'm asking, but okay. But anyway. Now, Greek thinkers like Thales and Hippocrates studied in Egyptian Temple University, but they got the credit. Okay, this is their rulership. This is their rulership. I mean, they can do what they want to do. The only problem I have, they lies is leading our people to hell. That's the problem I got. Okay. All right. Where they are introduced to advanced Now look, Greek thinkers like Thales and Hippocrates studied in Egyptian Temple University, where they were introduced to advanced concept in science, medicine, and philosophy. But when I went early over here, see can I find it? When I went early over here, they act like Hippocrates come up with it all by himself. Right here. Medical diagnoses are heavily based on Greek and Latin because ancient Greek physicians like Hippocrates established. How did he establish when he learned from somebody else? Get back to the black. Anyway, I'm finding this stuff actually not looking for it. I'm finding it. All praise to the Most High. But anyway, and making a mockery of them. Okay? All right. Of Western medicine through systematic observation, now through systematic erasure and replacement, and moving away from mystical explanation. But all right, you see what they said. Let me see if they're gonna get it, if they're gonna go get to where he learned from. You know, these languages provide precise, standardized, and unchanging vocabulary that allows healthcare professionals globally to communicate accurately, regardless of their native language. Yeah, because you're going to their university, learning what their vision of medicine is. Okay. Let me see. Ancient Greek physicians such as Hippocrates, he's the father of medicine. He's a Johnny come lately, but he's the father. This European colonization. This is the mindset of these folks. They're the only people on earth that got any say so and any contribution. All right. And Galen documented early medical practices introducing terms for anatomy, symptoms, and diseases that are still used today. No, they're not saying where it come from. We gonna give here's another example. We're gonna give the light bulb to Thomas Edison. Never mind the fact that Lewis Latimer put the filament in the light bulb. Forget about the black man. Thomas Edison did it all. Forget about the tenderism. It's the colonizers that own it. So you understand? Erase everybody else. See, if we separate from these folks, boy, they're gonna implode real quick. When the Most High separate us, He gonna do it. When the Most High separate us, they're gonna go right back to barbarism. Right back to barbar. They on the precipice of barbarism now. They eating up each other. Talking about some green land. Them your folks? Anyway, hey, y'all get out the way, stay out them streets. Don't be protesting it. Them immigrants ain't got nothing to do with us. They was on the sideline. They hate us. I know it ain't all of them, but there's a reason why we don't know you friendly. If you white or other, it's a reason why we don't know you friendly, because you quiet when all this stuff is going on to us. It's a reason why we don't know you. So I don't know you. And I don't know who this they done colonized the Black Panthers, look like. They done colonized the Black Panthers. I don't know if I do a little bit more digging, but dude, no. But anyway, let me move on. Now, you got these Negroes in the boule. These Negroes in the boule, these paid, shucking and jiving, stepping fetching Negroes. The boule. Now, you know LeBron James got this tattoo on him. That's a Sphinx. Let me show it to you. I don't know what it is, but he ain't leading me nowhere. The Most High gonna lead me. All right. His sheep hear his voice, right? They ain't listening to nobody else. The Most High sheep ain't listening to nobody else. That's another reason why dark-skinned people shouldn't be getting no tax. It ain't for you. But look, you got that stuff on your chest. Brother, you need to get all that mess out. You need to denounce all that mess. You need to get rid of all that mess. You get rid of it. Repent of it. Yeah. Yep, you're right, brother. Let me see here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I'm looking for the boule. The boule, here we go. I say, is boule Greek? I know it is, but yeah. Yes, boule is a Greek term referring to a council or literally a plan or will in ancient Greece. So you got Negroes who want to do the will of the Greeks. They selling us out. Job chapter 3 and 6. They selling us out to the Greeks. In ancient Greece, the boule was a deliberative council of citizens. They getting together. We call them think tanks. Often 400 or 500 members that ran the daily affairs, advised magistrates snitching, and prepared the business for wider assembly in city-states like Athens. And you wonder why certain Negroes say, yeah, they'll let you get a business, sell your people out. They'll let you become president of an African nation. You got to keep your people poor, though. You got to keep them poor. You got to sell them out. The boule ain't dead. Okay? Derived from ancient Greek, boule refers to counsel, purpose, or a resolved plan. It ain't no plan. It ain't no plan for our liberation. If we was liberated, if we was saved from captivity, we'd be able to do our own government, unsolicited by the colonizers. They wouldn't have no say-so over us whatsoever if we was liberated. There'd be no such thing as a police shooting and the police getting off. We take that police somewhere and give them a brick shower. That'll put an end to that police unnecessary brutal force. That'll put a stop to that. Give them a brick shower. Or whatever it is. Whatever the folks agree on. That'll put an end to that. But anyway. All right. Let's see, French. All right, let me move on. Make sure I ain't forgetting that. Here's something. Here's something. Here you go right here. And you wondering why they pushing this stuff down our throats. Seemed like if you was intelligent, let me go back over here before I find something I'm not trying to find. If you was intelligent and your population is low, you wouldn't be shooting blanks in the same sex. You'd be trying to get your population popping. If you're really intelligent, why shoot blanks in the same sex? Huh? And then I'm going to move on. All right, they go to Greeks. Y'all see what it says up there. Here go to Romans. Same thing. They claim they got these high IQ. Y'all do what y'all do. Leave us out of it, okay? Leave us out of it. There you go. That's them folks. That's why you had buck breaking going on. That's why you had buck breaking going on. Right here. Buck breaking. They were raping the men, women, and the children. So keep that in mind. You might want to make them not take you alive. I don't know. It might be better off dead than to let them take you alive. I don't know. I'm just telling you that that's just a matter of fact. That's a fact of the matter. All right, now. Let me see here. Okay, it's still up there. All right, now. And these folks are shooting. I see that comment up there. These folks is even shooting blanks in animals. They shoot. Come on, family. They've been doing it the whole time. If you talking about improving your race, you talking about making sacrifice for your race. Well, you can't because the spirit's behind y'all. That's why you can't control yourself. Let me move on. All right, planets named after Greek or Roman gods. Most of them is named after Roman gods, and you got one named after a Greek god. Okay. And the way they spelled this looks suspicious, but anyway. Now, see them planets, the Most High ain't getting glory out of that. Their gods is getting shine. See that? I know we don't know. We call it whatever. with the exception of earth. The Most High kept the earth. He kept it. He kept it. Can't really see that. That ain't a good picture, but yeah. Roman gods. Most High ain't getting no glory out of that. Why is the Christians confronting this stuff? Why they at confronting all this paganism? Because they got another, they goats. They got another shepherd. Okay, let me make sure I ain't leaving nothing. All right, let me see. Let me see. I don't about said who I said. Now, they burnt the library in Egypt. Hide the evidence. What do they do today? Right now, they manipulating AI to lie. They're not burning. They're burning the digital library. They burning the digital library. You used to go on Rice University and Emory University and go on slavevoyages.org. I'm gonna re-upload the video, and you can find that we had Hebrew names. Now you be hard pressed to find a whole pages. They done went in there and do what they do. But I got them videos recorded. Well, I just went in there live. But anyway, and this is showing you where they got their math from. The Rhine Mathematical Papyrus. They didn't have paper. See, the Greeks got this from the Africans, the Egyptians. See. But yeah. See, they have you think they come up with it themselves. I just want you to see that. Let me see. Ancient Egyptian mathematics. Okay. Let me see how long I've been going. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. The Rhine Mathematical Papyrus, designated as Papyrus British Museum. See that? This is what the colonizers do. They take all the stuff, they extract everything from Africa. Tell the people they're not nothing. Make it so that they are impoverished because they're over there stealing everything. They can't have you thinking you are an intelligent person. They can't have you thinking that they got their information from you. They can't have you thinking that. Because after a while, you're gonna start respecting yourself and your people. And you gonna say, we got to eat over here. You're gonna pay a fair price for these resources because we got to eat over here. We don't want them crumbs and that rice or whatever it is, that aid you sending that you can take, because we don't want to submit to whatever you trying to get us to do. Now, you pay us a fair price, we grow our own food, and you can't control us with that aid. But no, that's what's going on. All right. The Rhine Mathematical Papyrus, see that? That's way before the Greeks. It's an ancient Egyptian scribe textbook featuring 84 to 88 problems covering arithmetic, geometry, and foundational algebra. You had to use that for pyramid and building. Okay? I can't solve the problems. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not a mathematician. Okay? Using the method of false position and includes work on simple quadratic equations, arithmetic, geometric progression, and volume error calculation. They don't teach the African history of math. They teach you the colonizers' version of math. Okay? If you want to go there, you just type that. Make sure you type in Rhine Papyrus. Okay. And here's another layer. Ancient African influence on Greek medicine. Okay. ancient African, primary Egyptian or Kemetic, land of the blacks, Kemet, land of the black land, medicine profoundly influenced Greek medical practice, with Greek scholars, including Hippocrates, studying in Egypt to learn techniques established thousands of years earlier. But he the father of medicine. The father of medicine. Okay? Key influence included the deification of African polymath Imhotep and as Asclepius, the adoption of diagnostic methods, herbal pharmacology, painkillers, and specialized surgical tools. Okay. You can do a little deeper dive in yourself. I'm finna wrap this up. Okay. Romans 1:18. Romans 1:18. Men withhold truth in unrighteousness. That's exactly what they're doing. I knew it was in there. Romans 1:18. Let me see, can I go to it if I press it? Let me see here. All right. They're suppressing the truth. The action, the phrase suppress the truth. Let me go to the Bible. Romans 1:18. All right, Romans 1:18. Let me just move this Bible over. All right. Romans 1:18. All right. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Mashiach, for it is the power of Yah unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first. It don't matter. It's spiritual Israel. And also to the Greek. All right. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith. His righteousness is revealed to the Jew first, and then to the Gentile. Let's see if that's a Gentile. 1:18. Let's go to the study Bible. Romans 1:18. Let's see what that word, I think that gonna mean 1:18. I think it's gonna be Gentile, because some Bibles got Gentile. And also to the Greek. Gentile. See that? Everybody else. Okay. See that? All right. All right. Now, let me go back over here. All right. For therein is the righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Now, you withholding the truth in unrighteousness. They're giving you this European spin on the facts, withholding the facts. In other words, they really lying to you. All right, let's go to Revelation. Hold on. I know it's in the back. It's in Revelation somewhere. Let's see. Everything that causes a lie. Let me see. I got pages. Hold on. Probably find it with Google. That way I can broaden my search. Shabbat Shalom, Yisrael. Tell Eliyahu, I say all praises. Yeah, I can pronounce it. He told me how to pronounce it. I couldn't get it right for nothing. Let me see here. Let me Google it. Let me see here. Revelation. $22.15. Yeah. Revelation 22:15. Okay. All right. Let's go to the concordance. All right. But outside the kingdom are dogs, sorcerers, sexually immoral, the murderers, the idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. That's a lie. Everybody outside the kingdom is these folks. Okay? Let me go this way. Revelation 22:15. Because everything is right here. Everything is right here. For outside, for without or let me go up here so y'all can see what it says about kingdom. All right, now here's something else. In the Hebrew, the first letter A, I'm gonna show you. These definitions ain't in no Greek. See, that they withholding the facts. But in Hebrew, y'all can't see that. Let me see. All right, let me see this. Hebrew pictograph, Hebrew chart. I see you, Eliyahu. If you got anything, let me know you want to come up. See, this is how you miss all this stuff. How these folks withholding the truth in unrighteousness? Why don't you want to reveal all this information? You got some gold nuggets. Don't you want to share? No, they want to withhold it so you keep believing that colonized mindset. All right, now this is the first letter of the Hebrew letter. It got the L there, but it's a letter A. You see it. Strength, strong, power, and it's also number 1. He's the first. This is the first letter. This was the last right here, the Tav. Mark, sign, covenant. I don't know what this come from. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what this is. It ain't even got a letter up there, so it's something else. The rest of them got letters. All right. That's the last letter. It look like it's the mark, sign, covenant. It look like it's an X, it's a cross, or whatever. Oh, y'all can't even see that. Hold on. I'm just getting ahead of myself. All right. Let me find another. Okay. Let me share this one. Y'all see that? This is the first letter. This ain't even got all of them, but these letters also are numbers. Each letter got a definition. Okay. So this is a whole other meaning in Hebrew. That's the last, the sign, the mark, the covenant. All right. Now let me get back to this. Let me slow down. I must be getting tired. All right. All right. This is the Messiah. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. I am Aleph and the Tav. Look up them letters. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the first letter of the alphabet and the last letter. Now, you go to the first chapter in the book of First Maccabees, the Greeks was hanging Hebrews. So why would he use I just want y'all to think, man. These folks are oppressors. Okay? All right, now. Okay, yeah. Let me get back to the point. All right. Blessed are they that do his commandments. I thought the law was done away with. The commandments is the law. This is revelation. You blessed if you keep the commandments. The Messiah said, if you love him, keep his commandments. That's part of the law. You won't incur punishment by keeping the Messiah, keeping the Most High law. Just like you won't get punished by keeping the white man law. But you're going to keep the white man law, but you ain't going to worry about the Most High law. Y'all better, I don't know what else to tell y'all. There's a reason why you're afraid. All right, now. Blessed are they that do his commandments, they that may have right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates of the city. Now, for outside the gates of the city are dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, murderers, idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. All this old spinning of the history, erasing and replacing and lying and withholding the truth, getting mad, all this stuff. You ain't making it into the kingdom. It said whosoever. All right. Okay, I done showed it to you. I done gave you the breakdown of the breakdown before judgment comes and you break down. All right? Well, yeah, I think I done went on enough, family. All right, family. Shalom, there ain't nothing else. Make sure. Appreciate y'all joining in. All right. Y'all take care. I'll be checking for comments on the way out. Shalom.
About your goodness, Yahshua, and what you've done for me. Oh, I don't deserve anything you've done for me, and I don't deserve that you laid your life for me. Over and over, I let you down. Over and over, you stayed around. Unconditionally, you keep on loving me. That's why you are so holy. That's why you are holy. That's why you are holy. Oh yeah, you are holy. I'm calling you Yah the Mighty. You are Yah the Mighty. Heaven ain't going to heaven, You better watch your mouth when you're talking about who it is you reppin'. There are crazy people who seduce you for your soul. Everything that glitters don't always turn to gold. Whoa. Sometimes it's hard to believe when you're going through it. Trying to give my very best, so I'm trying to keep the faith. I know you got my back, I don't have to worry. You don't ever sleep, 'cause you are holy. You are holy. are so